It's a rainy day, but isn't it the best weather to shoot waterfall photography? Well, this is what we will figure out in this video. I am still in the Jura region here in France, and this is an incredible region that has a lot to offer, from mountains to cliffs to waterfalls, as you can see behind me. And if you haven't seen some of my previous videos, then feel free to click on the link here and see what it has to offer. You will be amazed, trust me. So I'm gonna be here to shoot this beautiful waterfall here, and I'm gonna give you a lot of tips about compositions and also how to get creative about waterfall photography, and I will give you a lot more tips. So don't quit just yet and listen to what I have to tell you. I will also show you plenty of examples, a lot of beautiful photographs. So let's get going and share this together. Let's first speak about gear. The first thing you will need is a DSLR, so that can be mirrorless camera or whatever you want. For me, I have a Fujifilm X-T3, which is mirrorless, but what's important about your body is that it's weather resistant, so that it handles the water fairly well, and this one does, so it's really good. In terms of the lens, you will need a wide angle lens, and I'm using here an XF 10 to 24 millimeters on APS-C, which is equivalent to, I guess, 15 to 30 millimeters on full frame. And this will be perfect so that you can emphasize your foreground and your background as well. But we're going to discuss this a bit later. Another piece of gear that will be really important, this is a polarizer filter. This will help to remove the glare from your from all the stones, from the leaves, from anything that you will have in your scene. You will emphasize a little bit the colors by saturating them, and that would be extremely helpful. Another thing that I'm gonna try today is to use this plastic bag to cover my camera and to protect it from the rain. It's better when it's covered, so I'm gonna try to use this. I don't have any professional stuff. It's just a plastic bag to freeze ingredients in your kitchen. So nothing very fancy, but hopefully it works. I'm gonna try this and let you know if it works well. Another very important piece of gear: paper tissues. This will help you a lot to clean the droplets that you will have on your lens and also on your filters. And other people recommend to use microfibers. I find them difficult to use because they tend to let marks and also a lot of dust because it attracts dust. So I'd rather recommend to use like those type of paper tissues, like just to like the one you use to blow your nose basically. And they will because they don't let marks and they clean very well and they absorb very well the water. So it's really important. You will also need a tripod. So now I won't show you my tripod because the camera is on it, but you will need a good tripod. Well, in general, just a tripod to make sure that your shots are stabilized, and because we'll be shooting at a low speed. So when you shoot at low speed, you want to make sure you don't have any shakes in your shot. Otherwise, they would be unusable, unless it's a wanted effect, of course. What more in terms of gear? So it's raining, so I'm using a raincoat, like a rain trouser, and very important, boots, like rubber boots, so that I can get my feet into the water. I'm shooting waterfalls, so I'm going to be close to water, and trust me, it's better than to have your feet fully in the water. Alright, I guess that's pretty much it for the gear. So I guess we can start going ahead and figure out what we want to do with this beautiful waterfall. Let's get going. So I put my cap on. I was lucky, I was covered just before, but now we are going into the wide and there it's raining. And one thing I really want now is to get a little bit creative in my shots, and for this I am looking for something really important, at least for what I want to do. And I'm gonna be looking for something, and I will show you when I find it. Hopefully I find it soon. Yes, I found it. it's here, and that's this. I want to use leaves, and you will see how I will use leaf. I will use it as a foreground, put it on a stone or something. That's usually something I don't really do, trying to set up my shots like this, but once in a while it's fun to do, and if it's to get a good shot and something interesting, then why not giving it a chance. So I found my composition, and basically this is what is happening. So I do have here the leaf that I put right in front of the camera, as you can see, and on the background is the waterfall that just unfolds all over. And I guess you can also see here on the screen, because I'm recording with the other camera, and that's what I'm recording, and that's what I'm gonna photograph here. So basically I put really the leaf very close to the foreground so that it's emphasized and it looks very big compared to the rest of the scene, so that it plunges you inside the picture, and it really makes it like as a nice foreground subject. And of course then we have the beautiful waterfall on the background. And so I'm using also the CPL filter to remove any glares caused by the water, and on the leaf, on the rocks, in the water on the background. And this seems to work pretty well, and I guess it will really help on this type of picture. I'm also using this the plastic thing, and it seems to work very well. I'm using it as well on the camera I'm recording with, and it seems to really protect very well. So I think it's a very nice idea. So if you guys want to use something like this in the future, then at least you've got the tip now. Another technical thing I am doing is that I am doing a focus stacking. So I am first focusing on the foreground and then on the background to make sure that I have everything in focus in my photograph. But as you can see here on the video, there is one thing that bothers me with this composition. There is this big stone on the foreground. So I guess I'm gonna move, that must be this stone here, the one that you see here. And I'm gonna move a little bit further and see if there is something. I have a very clear view of the waterfall, and let's see about that. So I found another composition here, and you can see I'm much closer from the waterfall, and here is my camera right at the bottom here, and I placed the leaf right in front of it here. And I guess you can see here on the screen, because I'm recording, and you can see that the placement of the leaf really imports here, because the way I placed it and the orientation as well I put it, it really extends it and make it like really prominent on the foreground, and which is really something I wanted to create. And that starts to really look like something I wanted to have for this waterfall. And it's really cool. But I might also play a little bit, because there are like few streams coming down from the river, like those ones, for example here. And I want to play with those streams too, so I'm gonna play with this right now and see if I can do something cool. But I'm pretty sure it's possible. I have to look around if there are any others interesting. So I finally found my stream, and you can see it here. So here is my camera, and just behind here is the stream, and there is the waterfall. And this is actually really interesting, because since I'm using the wide angle lens, and I guess you can see it on the screen here, then the stream is really impressive in front of the camera. And there is it's really small, but because I'm using the wide angle, it looks very big, and the rest of the waterfall, which is really big here, looks very small on the camera, so on the pictures. And so that creates a really beautiful effect of a cascading waterfall, and that's just amazing, and it creates a sense of depth which is incredible. So that's definitely something you should try to look for when you're doing this type of photographs. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. And keep using the focus stacking, because that way you will get a perfectly sharp picture from front to back. One thing which is really important when shooting the stream, like I'm showing you here, is to shoot with the right shutter speed. And in my opinion, the right shutter speed is between 1/3 of a second and 1/10 of a second. And that way you will be able to keep some structure in the water, not get something too milky that kind of loses interest, and keep some motion into your photograph. And the way of doing this, because now it's fairly dark, so if I keep all my parameters at the minimum, like for example the ISO at the minimum, I would get a shutter speed which would be like about a second or so. And this is definitely something I don't want. So what I'm doing is that I have increased my ISO to 400, and that way I can reduce my shutter speed a little bit. Of course the picture will be a little bit grainy, but I can still correct this with a denoise on in Lightroom in post-processing, or otherwise I can keep it as such, and it's not going to be too visible because 400 even on Fuji can be still handled very well. All right, I went for an ultimate photograph, and the camera is right on the ground there. I still use the leaf, and you can see here what I'm recording and what I'm going to be shooting. And basically what I want to do here is capture a landscape photograph and make sure that I have a beautiful, not panorama, but like wide angle shot of the whole scene. And basically what I want to shot is this. You've got like kind of like a half circle here that goes all around, and that creates a really nice effect. And I'm trying to capture this now by shooting this, and to make it more interesting and a little more entertaining as a shot, I'm also including the leaf on the foreground. So of course it's not emphasized as you would see it when it's in portrait orientation, but it still looks like really imposing on the foreground and really help you still dive into the picture by having a foreground with a leaf and then the background with the waterfall, and of course with the half circle which is built in stone here. And yeah, I'm really hoping that this shot will give something interesting, and I guess I'm gonna start shooting a little more around here, and I'm gonna share with you the pictures directly after. So let's speak in a bit. Alright, that's pretty much it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you learned something, that you will feel more confident next time you will go on site. On top of that, it's amazing because since it's raining, there won't be too many people around, so you're gonna really enjoy your time over there. So trust me, it's gonna be really rewarding. And in the meantime, if you like my content, just feel free to subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button below, or even in the corner of this video. It's very easy, and that's rewarding for me. And also, if you like the video, feel free to leave me a thumbs up. That would be amazing. In the meantime, I wish you good luck with your photography, and see you next week for new adventures.